systems in the business from just $299. From the Ultra Simple with a range of 1,500 feet to LCD remotes with really cool options that have a range of 1 mile.
Really? You can start your vehicle from a mile away?
Really, and we can even better that. With our drone mobile unit, your smartphone will start your car from anywhere on the planet. Plus, you can monitor vehicle security, the temperature inside the vehicle. It even has a GPS system so that your rig can always be located.
That's incredible.
Stop in or give us a call. We'll go over all the remote start options available, and we'll do it with the best prices in the area.
Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Good people of South Dakota, Abe Lincoln here again. On average, your South Dakota lottery gives over $490,000 per day back to the state for good things like schools, natural resources, and more. That's 49 million pennies daily. You could stack those pennies 47 miles high each and every day. But that'd be downright silly now, wouldn't it? So you should probably just keep giving it to schools and stuff. The South Dakota Lottery. It's good fun, good people. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Hey Rush fans, it's Rob at the Firehouse Skybox. We are your official home for Rapid City Rush hockey. When the Rush are playing on the road, join other Rush fans at the Skybox and enjoy some great food and cheer on your Rush. We show every Rush away game and we'll have Rush-themed giveaways every road trip. You'll get a chance to win great Rush prizes with the purchase of a drink or food item. The Skybox has the best food and the best Rush game day experience. Go Rush!
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara, Cincinnati Bengals cornerback Chris Lamons, and 2 others have been indicted by a Nevada grand jury on charges of conspiracy to commit battery and battery resulting in substantial bodily harm. This all stemming from an incident at a nightclub during last year's Pro Bowl weekend in Las Vegas. In Major League Baseball, Tim McCarver, All-Star catcher, Hall of Fame broadcaster, passed away today at the age of 81. McCarver played 21 years in the majors. He won 2 World Series championships as a St. Louis Cardinal and then served as a TV analyst for 24 World Series. Golf in round 1 of the Genesis Invitational at Riviera. Tiger Woods is even through 10 holes. Max Homa has the lead after shooting a 7-under 64 today. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Welcome in on a Thursday. I am back. I am okay, I think. I'm ready. Are you ready? You missed me, didn't you? I mean, it's hard to miss me, but I know you missed me. I'm back. The Nate Brown Show is back on a Thursday after a few days unexpected time off here. Fox Sports Rapid City, we're ready to go. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, welcome in. We're live 4 to 6, thought-provoking sports talk, and it's always a great day in the Black Hills. We know that. And we are on, brought to you in part by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center since 1976. Remember, Black Hills Ortho, our neighbors, they've been here providing expert bone, joint, and muscle care. Whether you're a weekend warrior or an elite athlete, Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center helping you stay in the game. Learn more at bhosc.com. Get started there. Remember, Black Hills Ortho has urgent care. Again, get started, bhosc.com first. On the Thursday show, I said I'm glad to be back. A few days unexpected time off. I wouldn't necessarily call it time off. It's been kind of a grinder. I have to tell you, a big announcement on the Nate Brown Show. Everything's open here, right? Open and honest. I had pink eye in both eyes the last couple of days, and I do have to say it's a historic achievement. I've never had pink eye in the history of my life, so I've went back to like 4th grade, and now I've got pink eye. As an old man, it feels like, see, the older you get, the tougher you got to be. So I'm back. I'm ready. Eye drops in before the show, and I'm good to go. I wouldn't recommend it, okay? But, It's going around. I can see straight. If I couldn't see clearly, now I can see clearly. The Nate Brown Show back. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a good week so far. We've got a great show lined up this Thursday. Let's look at it. Frank Schwab's going to join us, Yahoo Sports NFL writer. Let's look at some of the hires when it comes to the coaching world. Arizona just introduced their new coach, Jonathan Gannon. I want to have a discussion on that because I think people are missing the big picture there. Gannon's the D coordinator for the Eagles, and now he's going to be the new head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Frank Schwab's coming up, Yahoo Sports national writer. We'll go out to Minneapolis tonight. Michael Rand, senior writer for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. A big story in this region is that Bally Sports, where the Timberwolves, the Twins, the Wild, all of those games are on Bally Sports, and you guys are able to watch these. I tune into these, right? You're fans in this region. Bally Sports is in trouble. The company that owns Bally Sports Networks, which they pay all these dollars to the pro sports organizations, they're in big trouble. Missed an interest payment yesterday. Only about $140 million that they missed that payment. But what's next for Bally Sports? We'll talk to Michael Rand, StarTribune.com senior writer from Minneapolis. It is an East River meets West River Thursday with Craig Maddock live from Sioux Falls. A lot of discussion points to hit with Craig. Doug Ottewell on tonight from Denver, talking Broncos and Buffs. Deion Sanders is making an appearance at, he's not going to be live with me, I hate to tell you, but the Deion Sanders topic is up and rolling already out there. So we'll talk to Doug, milehighsports.com from Denver. And the Rapid City Marshals, you guys know this, right? The indoor football team back for a second season. New ownership, new general manager, same head coach, and that head coach is going to join us today, Dante Dudley, Rapid City Marshals indoor football head coach. They get the season started in a preseason matchup Sunday night here in town at the Summit Arena. Okay, over there at the Monument. So Rapid City Marshals indoor football back on Sunday with their preseason matchup, and the head coach Dante Dudley on tonight. So a packed Thursday show. See, I put things together for you, even if I couldn't do much with the pink eye. Couldn't see straight, but what's new? Let's get you on today. 720-1067. 720-1067 is our number. Join us on the studio line. Also, the Barron's Wilson text line. Direct text the show, 720-1067. All right, now you know how to get in touch with us and be a part of the program. I invite you in. I want to start with something here that I said Deion Sanders is making a splash. Deion Sanders, very active on social media. He's been very active in the transfer portal. The Colorado Buffaloes have led the way with the most transfers going to Colorado, okay? So Deion's not making any bones about it. He's going into the portal. He's being very forthright, saying, I'm going to have my son here. My son's going to be a QB. I mean, he's going all in, and he's a big personality. Now, I'm starting the show with Deion Sanders because he was talking in an interview, and I thought this was so interesting, about his approach at Colorado, okay? His approach at Colorado, and when it comes to recruiting. And what he had to say was so interesting to me because he got into an area which gets into people's lives, and I wonder what the reaction will be. The thing I've liked about Deion Sanders, and I think some of you guys have liked this about Deion, is he's old school. He wants to bring back respect, okay, to football. It's football first. It's you're here for your teammates. You're responsible in class. You're responsible in college. You represent a brand, your football brothers, and your football program. That's an old school way of thinking in this world of, well, if I just don't like it, or if I don't like the coach, or if I don't toe the line, I'm going to transfer. I'm not going to follow this coach who's yelling and telling me what to do and holding me accountable and the whole thing. That's usually what kind of can happen now in college football. Well, I don't need to be held accountable. I can go every which way. I can go over here and go over here where the grass is greener. So Deion's taking the approach, which I've liked. He started at Jackson State saying, we're going to make sure that we do the things right on the field, in the classroom, outside of football, and we're going to be disciplined. We're going to have a great representation on our football team, okay? And he's holding these guys a little bit old school. He talks about how they should be responsible themselves, how they should be leaders themselves, not looking for the next big thing for me. He goes team first. So there's various aspects of why I've liked Deion's approach. Now, he was recently talking in an interview about his approach to recruiting, and this got my attention. I said, I want to start the show with it. I want to make it into my question of the day and see if people like, is this old school approach, which I've said, I've liked some of this, okay? And it's interesting because Deion is prime time, a big talker, a big brand. I mean, you would think he's flashy. I mean, the whole thing. But his approach in the football locker room is very old school. It's not, yeah, we got to, make sure we take care of these players and do whatever they say they want us to do. It's the other way. We're going to hold them accountable. We'll respect them. We'll have them respect themselves in the program, but we're going to do this old school. Here's the approach to recruiting, and you tell me what you think of this, okay? Colorado head coach Deion Sanders speaking his mind and talking about what he looks for in recruiting quarterbacks. Here's the quote. We want a mother and a father, dual parents. And we want that kid to be a 3.5 GPA and up because the quarterbacks have to be smart. He can't make bad decisions off the field at all because he has to be a leader of men. There are so many different attributes and what we look for when we see a quarterback. We would really love a coach's son. Okay, so those are the two quotes. What took you by, did anything take you by surprise? In today's world of, okay, is that quote unquote politically correct? Is that a fair approach to recruiting? In this case, this is how he looks at quarterbacks. He's wanting to recruit this type of player. And his first sentence is, we want a mother, father, dual parents. What do you think when you hear that? I thought it was a very interesting line. He went on to talk about offensive linemen, and he says, we look for a strong father there as well, dual parent homes. He says for offensive linemen. It's a really fascinating thing to me. Yes, he looks for the football player, but he goes deeper, and now he goes into the family situation. And everybody's family situation, by the way, is different. And so I really want to come at it from this. This is Deion Sanders, who, again, he'll say what he says. He's not always going to say what people think is popular, what people will like. I know that, and he said that. That's his approach. What do you think of the approach? I'll ask you the question of the day on the Nate Brown Show as we get going. Here it is. Deion says he's going to be recruiting quarterbacks. That's the position, for example. Got to have, he wants a mother and a father, dual parents. To you, is that a fair approach when you're recruiting high school quarterbacks? Essentially is what we're looking at, okay? That's my question of the day. Your answers, 720-1067 is our number on the Nate Brown Show. You can join us as we're back on a Thursday. The Barron's Wilson text line also open. Let me get some early votes on this. 720-1067. What do you say to that approach from Deion? And I say, again, this is kind of old school, if you want to point out that way, because life has changed today. Things are different today. There are broken homes, right? There were back in the day, too, but there's, I think, more separations, right? More separated homes today. And Deion's essentially saying, as a quarterback, if you're going to be a Colorado Buffaloes quarterback, that's one of the things he's really looking at. Is it a fair approach to you? That's my question. Deion says quarterback recruits, dual parents, mother, father, and then he gets into the GPA, which by the way, that's all above board to me. He can recruit. He's looking at it saying, hey, I got to have 3.5. That's what we're really looking at. I want you to be a good student. I want you to be a leader. I want you to be smart. You can't be any off the field trouble. I get all that stuff. That's behavior. That's grades. What about the family situation? Is that in the mix, is my point. Here's the answer so far. Quite a few votes on it. Here's the answer so far. I'm a little surprised by it, and it's interesting because Deion playing to the crowd here, he just says what he says. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. That's as far as I can tell from Jackson State, and now it's CU. 77% of the audience here on this show right now, 77% voting it's a fair approach. It's his program. Looking for quarterback recruits with a mother, father, dual parents. That's the approach from Dion at CU. 77% of you say it's a fair approach. It's his program. 23% of you say, no, that will leave kids out. That will leave kids out. I find it interesting that it's that lopsided in our poll question as we just started, because my first look at that was, well, that's interesting. It's not that it's, to me, a wrong approach necessarily. Okay, it's well, there is all sorts of ways to recruit. And by the way, recruiting is already a what? Well, it's a discriminatory process. I mean, it's not a, well, everybody gets a fair look process to a point. It's, I'm looking for this person specifically to run this type of offense, to be this size. Am I a passer? Am I a runner? It's all sorts of those things from a football standpoint. And that's where I said, naturally, football recruiting, it's, you get to pick and choose exactly who you're looking for. This approach from Dion, though, and in his comments this past week, where I'm actually not just necessarily looking at the football side, I'm looking at the family side. And by the way, I'm not too stunned. I mean, I think that he threw it out there is interesting. I'm not too stunned. He just said some of the stuff I think that other coaches also believe behind the scenes, meaning I've heard this from coaches across the board. They do look at the parents. And this is a good example for parents that maybe have had kids that are going to get recruited or have gotten recruited. Coaches do look at the parents. Are we solid? What's the parent's situation? It can tell you about the player. Dion's essentially saying that, but he's saying, I want a quarterback from a household with a mom and dad, dual parents. He didn't say necessarily, oh, they have to be, happily married ever after. I guess he's not going down that road, but you can, some people can take that into account. Some people can say, well, that's kind of what he's, referencing potentially, but he's saying, no, what about a mother, father, dual parents? Mother and father can be great parents separated. I think he didn't get into the, well, they got to be in the same household. They got to be going to church. They got to be doing, he didn't go down that road. It was interesting. He just wants the mother and father to be there in their life, in that student athlete's life. That is a prerequisite for Deion Sanders recruiting a quarterback. It's interesting how he throws it out there. Do you think that can leave some kids out? I still think that can be true. Whether Deion, that's his approach. It is his program. He's going to approach it how he's going to approach it. I do believe you can still answer the question and say, well, what if there's a great kid, great quarterback, raised by a single mom, whatever the story may be, does that kid honestly not get a look at Colorado, or he doesn't get the first look? That's my issue with it today. Okay, my answer would have been, I'm not necessarily answering the 77% today. Well, yeah, it's a fair approach. It's his program. He can do what he wants in his program. Nobody's going to be able to tell him, hey, approach it this way or that way. He threw it out there how he's going to do it. I will say there are great stories, and I think you just have to find the right kid with the right situation. There are situations where things aren't so great either with a mom and a dad, if you know what I mean. And I think everybody understands that. I do think you will leave kids out if that's his approach. I'm not saying it's his only thing. He went through it. We want mother, father, dual parents. We want 3.5 GPA. We want no bad decisions off the field. He's got to be a leader. That's what we want. And we want to coach his son. That would be great. Well, that's just a cherry on top. An interesting approach of how he looks at it. Is he saying two-parent household? Is he saying, no, we need two parents involved? Either way, I can't be a great player, a great student athlete, a leader. What if I'm a 3.6? and I'm a single parent, and things have been rough, whatever it may be, I think Deion's also going down that road. I think you have to make sure you keep an open mind, whether it's just, talking about his thoughts. That's what it looks like of what he's looking for. It does tell you a lot about his approach, and I think some of it's really, really good. The old school style, hey, we're going to look further than, hey, can he run, jump, pass? Can he bench press, all of that? We're going to look further than that because you need to. I don't know if it's going as specific as Deion Sanders has gone. That's my issue when I look at, we want the dual parent piece. I think that can leave some kids off the radar. Said the same thing, and jokingly, when it comes to defensive linemen. And I think this is jokingly, so take it for what it's worth. He says, when it comes to defensive linemen, he says jokingly, we want that single mom. He's on free lunches trying to rescue, and he's jokingly saying, well, we want the tough kids there. Interesting scenario. It's going to be fascinating to watch how Deion Sanders, not only is he in the portal, big time, leading the way, most transfers out of anybody. His approach on recruiting, at least out in the open, is out there. And a lot of coaches don't say much, okay? They'll sell you a bill of goods. They'll tell you what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Oh, man, you're going to be the man. It seems as though Deion's taking a different approach. I don't necessarily think all of the stuff is right on target, but it sure seems like he got it done at Jackson State. What's the story going to be at CU? Will they continue to embrace Deion Sanders at CU? Because, by the way, some of those folks in the academic world up there in Boulder, they like this, disciplined, structured. We're going to have good kids here. That's what they want. Good students, the academic side at CU, big time. But I don't know if they're always going to want, are we going to let Deion run this way and this way and this way? That's what they've always had a problem with at CU. Thinking, is the coach really running the show? Yeah, I hate to break it to you, CU Academia. Deion's running the show. And he's going to be saying stuff. He's going to be doing stuff. You better get ready. Because if he's getting out there and getting after it and CU, Colorado Buffalo start winning, I don't think people are going to be too worried about what Deion says and that type of thing, and how worried the Board of Regents are about Deion and his approach. Deion's a really interesting cat to watch, and he's already making waves here. The Nate Brown Show on this Thursday. Glad to be back with Frank Schwab, NFL writer for Yahoo Sports, new coach in Arizona. I think people are missing the big picture here. It's Jonathan Gannon, defensive coordinator for the Eagles. Big reviews over his press conference today. That's on the way.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch the show live on Twitter at Nate Brown Show.
Winter is here, and at Renewal by Andersen, we've gotten used to these words from our clients. Wow, our house is so much warmer with our new windows from Renewal by Andersen. There is no place like home. A warm, comfortable home on a bitter winter night. And Renewal by Andersen's windows installed by our certified professionals can significantly reduce your heating bills, make your home secure, wonderfully warm, and welcoming. Scan that QR code, visit RBARapidCity.com now. Warm up at home with Renewal by Andersen. RBARapidCity.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Clear skies tonight with a low of 21. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Bright sunshine tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 54. Lows around 24. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times Saturday with daytime highs approaching 49. 42 Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 33.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
If you have a Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, BMW, Volvo, or any other high-end import, you might think you have to take your car to Denver or further for service. Hi, this is Martin from Al's D&I Repair. Don't plan your life around taking your car for service in a town 400 miles away. Bring it to Al's D&I Repair. Our technicians are trained to work on those complicated cars, and we also have the tools and equipment so they have everything they need to make sure your car is working perfectly.
Call Al's D&I to set up your appointment at 348-1447.
Hi, this is Bill Schaefer, Director of the Recreational Program with the Black Hills Rapids Soccer Club. Our spring registration is underway, and the Black Hills Rapids would love to have your son or daughter join us for a great season of soccer. From 3 years old all the way up to 18, we have a program for everyone. With the 12-field soccer complex, experienced coaches, the Black Hills Rapids is the only premier soccer club in western South Dakota. Now is the time to sign up and get the early bird discount. Register at blackhillsrapids.com. Play with the Black Hills Rapids this spring. Register your player now at blackhillsrapids.com.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Don't make a bad call the next time you need an attorney. The lawyers of Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers have been serving the legal needs of clients throughout the state for over 75 years. Serious legal issues like divorce, business disputes, personal injury, and criminal matters require a solid team. When you need a win, call Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers at 721-1517. Claiborne, Lowson, Sabers, proudly supporting our area's youth and sports teams in their pursuit of excellence.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show, back on a Thursday. It's been a long week, I'll tell you what. Grinding, just grinding. Fox Sports Rapid City, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Also stream us there, foxsportsrapidcity.com. Glad you're here. Hope you missed me a little bit, just a little bit. Frank Schwab's going to kick things off tonight. NFL writer, yahoosports.com. On Twitter at Yahoo Schwab. Arizona hires a new coach. Broncos trying to get a D coordinator. A lot of things to hit on here. Frank, good to have you back on. How are you?
Hey, good. How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Let me go to this Arizona situation. So, Jonathan Gannon, D coordinator, Eagles, gets introduced. He's the head coach for the Cardinals. And the reaction today, Frank, is, man, what an impressive guy. He was buttoned up. He has a vision and the whole thing. I always find that interesting. It's not that that's bad analysis. I just don't know if we have a clue when we sit there and watch a coach talk. What's your read?
I'll say it's bad analysis. I'm fine with that. I just think it's who's the coach. I mean, I guess since Adam Gase, the most recent coach to completely, absolutely bomb his introductory press conference is Nick Sirianni. Everybody's making fun of him. He turned out to be a pretty good coach. So this whole you won the press conference. Who cares? It's dumb. It means nothing. I really do. I just think I hear this all the time, and it's like we have too much time on our hands here because it means literally nothing. It's just nonsense, and people take it way too seriously, and I'm totally fine ignoring the heck out of it because it's just empty calories. There's nothing else to it.
I'm with you on it. People say, "Oh man, I told you he was impressive. He's going to be a great coach," and I believe we have no idea. Now, I will say, what do you make of Brian Flores not entertaining the Arizona head job and essentially picking the Vikings D coordinator position over it?
It's very interesting. I mean, whenever guys pass on job, you never know exactly why. I mean, we can draw conclusions that maybe it was the Kyler situation that he doesn't like. You don't want to take over a situation where your quarterback has an ACL injury and a $230 million contract. Like, that's a big deal. Maybe he just felt comfortable with the Vikings staff. Or maybe just that, I don't know, maybe just doesn't like Phoenix. There's a million reasons a guy could turn down a job or not entertain it, I guess, and teach their own. I think that if he has a couple good years as a defensive coordinator, he'll be back in the head coaching carousel and getting interviews again, and we'll see how, I don't want to say his past because that sounds really bad, but, we all know that it's complicated now with the lawsuits, so we'll see how that all factors in, but I think that at some point Brian Flores is going to be, in that head coaching conversation again because, he did a pretty good job with the Dolphins the first time around.
What do you think of the Vikings making that hire, Kevin O'Connell and Flores as a D coordinator?
Oh, I like it a lot. I mean, they were on the verge of being a really, really good team last year, and their defense just held them back. We saw in the playoffs. I mean, they couldn't get a stop against a mediocre Giants offense, so I think that he's a smart guy, has good ideas on defense, going to come in, really give them a boost. They still need to add pieces. I mean, you need the players to pull off the scheme, but I think it was a good hire. I think they'll end up, improving on defense as a result.
Frank Schwab on tonight, NFL writer, YahooSports.com. I'll go to the Derek Carr story. So he's released. If you had to bet, Frank, you talk betting, where's Derek Carr go?
Probably the Saints, just because there's been, there's been a lot of talk between the two teams. I mean, they're familiar with each other. Dennis Allen's familiar with Derek Carr. Saints need a quarterback. It just seems to make sense. It seems like Derek Carr, and I don't mind this at all, kind of played the system and said, sure, I'll go talk to the New Orleans Saints, and maybe you guys can figure out a trade. And basically talked to them on the Raiders' dime and came back and said, no, I'm not going to agree to a trade, when in fact he now knows where he wants to sign as a free agent, maybe. So I kind of like that, actually, and you treat me one way, I'll treat you the same. I believe it'll be the Saints. But I'll say this, if I was him, I'd wait to see what Aaron Rodgers does, because if he can get on the Jets, boy, that would be good for his career. I think this Jets team is really ready to take off with the right with the right quarterback.
Okay, so who ends up in Las Vegas then? I'm really interested. Who do the Raiders get?
Jimmy Garoppolo, because he's a former Patriot, and former Patriots coordinators and coaches are absolutely positively unable to see anything outside of the box. So it has to be a former Patriot for Josh McDaniels. He can't see anything else. He could be coaching 2011 Aaron Rodgers and be like, my God, I need a former Patriots player. It's insane. It's literally insane how every single former Belichick assistant has to have multiple Patriots players on the roster. Nobody else can possibly fathom the Patriot way except guys who have been in that locker room. It's the downfall of most of these guys, and they keep repeating the same thing over and over. So Josh McDaniels is going to repeat the same mistake, and Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be his quarterback.
Okay, if Jimmy G goes there, Frank, you can't tell me that he's better than Carr.
I don't think he is, no. But he's a former Patriot. That's all that matters to these former Patriots assistants. Literally, they don't care. Again, it could be 1989 Joe Montana quarterback, and these guys would be like, oh, my God, I wish I had Brian Hoyer. He knows the Patriot way.
Boy,
it's just a sickness with these guys.
Yeah, that's something if that happens. It really is. Frank Schwab, a couple more. He's on tonight, NFL writer, YahooSports.com. You can find him there. So, Frank, Chiefs win the Super Bowl. That's 2 in 4 years. When is the dynasty conversation happen? 2 out of 4 years. That seems a little early for a dynasty thing. Where do we stand officially?
And I don't mind dynasty talk before everybody else does, because the NFL's changed. It's a microwave league now. 3 years is a lifetime for some. I just was down. I was in Phoenix at the Super Bowl last week. Wrote about Matt Nagy. 4 years ago, that guy was NFL Coach of the Year and living on top of the world. Now he's quarterback's coach for the Chiefs, trying to build his way back up. The NFL is 4 years. That's it. So 5 years of sustained excellence, hosting every single AFC Championship game in that, in that span. I mean, they've had 2 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl loss, and 2 overtime losses in the AFC Championship game in the last 5 years. To me, that's dynasty ish, I guess. I'm fine even saying it's a dynasty because what Brady and Belichick did, I don't think is ever going to be repeated. And I don't really know how many dynasties we're going to get that last 10 years. Now, I think this Chiefs one's going to go for a few more. They're actually pretty young. They had a good draft. They've had a couple of good drafts in a row. They played a lot of young players. Patrick Mahomes is nowhere, he's basically just entering his prime. As long as Andy Reid sticks around, I think they're going to keep winning. But let's say it all ended tomorrow. Would I call this a dynasty for the Chiefs? Probably, honestly. I mean, 5 years in the NFL is like 10 years, 30 years ago when there was no salary cap and all this kind of stuff. So I think I'm fine saying it's a dynasty right now.
Okay, Frank Schwab on tonight. You wrote a story about this. Somebody laid down a $2,000 bet that the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. That would pay pretty big. Who do you really think should be getting the dollars?
The team, honestly, I think is the Jets. I mean, and I'm looking at odds here. I'm not saying they're my number one pick to win the Super Bowl, but we are just talking about value. We're speaking the betting language right now. And I look at the Jets at 30-1, and I say if they traded for Aaron Rodgers tomorrow, they'd be 10-1, and they'd be everybody's pick. Right? Like, you could just see this happening. Like, oh, my God, this team with the offensive and defensive rookie of the year, another guy who would have been offensive rookie of the year had he not hurt his knee, this great young defense and this roster that's not going to have a lot of big questions answered in the offseason. If they can get Aaron Rodgers, you would upgrade from Zach Wilson to Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. After a year where they kind of chased a playoff spot, I think they'd be everybody's kind of dark horse pick to win the Super Bowl. Like I said, their odds would be cut at least in half, maybe in 2/3. I think the Jets right now, before they make a move, is the right play. And hey, if they screw up and they're the team in the musical chairs of quarterbacks that ends up without a quarterback, you kind of just eat that loss and that bet. But you could just you try at this point in the year where we don't have any idea who the rosters are going to look like in 3 months. You try to figure out which team's odds might change absolutely dramatically with just one or two moves. That's the Jets to me. I think that they're a really, really good young team that's a quarterback away.
Speaking of the Jets, last one for Frank Schwab tonight. Rex Ryan, a favorite to be the D coordinator for Sean Payton and the Broncos? Did people not want this job? Is that a real headline?
I like it. I don't know why. I get, he's kind of an easy target because he's very boisterous, and it didn't work out exactly as he wanted to with the Jets. But look at his track record of defenses. He always has a top 10 defense. If nothing else, Rex Ryan can coach defense, and his players respond to him. I think he's going to do fine as a defensive coordinator. Now, is he going to get along with Sean Payton? I don't know. I mean, two huge egos in that room, so there could be issues there. But I don't know. I think it's just a defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan is really, really good. You always wonder when you're out of the game for as many years as he's been. I think it's 5 or 6 or something like that. Does the game pass you by a little bit because everything's new? And I just see him as kind of a really a defensive savant. He's a guy the players love. They're going to play hard for him. I think as a defensive coordinator, it's almost like he's a punchline because he was in New York and he was out there saying, I'm going to go beat Bill Belichick and all this kind of stuff, and it didn't happen. But if you just get back to, hey, who could coach a defense around here? I think Rex Ryan's a pretty good hire. I can't lie. It might blow up in Sean Payton's face, but hey, if nothing else, the Denver Broncos are going to be really, really interesting this year. And it's been a long time since they have been.
I did not have that on my bingo card here in 2023. A Rex Ryan, D coordinator, Broncos. I didn't see it. Frank Schwab on tonight, yahoosports.com. Coverage there, and find him on Twitter, Yahoo Schwab. Frank, always great. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Thanks for the time. Frank Schwab tonight, NFL writer, yahoosports.com, and betting writer as well. Yahoo Schwab on Twitter. Follow him live here on the Nate Brown Show. So quite a few headlines to run through in the NFL just in the last couple of days. And one is today, Jonathan Gannon getting introduced as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. There's a couple of things there. Gannon, D coordinator for the Eagles, was rumored to be a candidate out there. He gets the interview and takes the job after the Super Bowl here. And that's a lot of the reaction today, just this afternoon. Oh, man, Jonathan Gannon, young, new defensive expert, really, really polished, really, really good. This is going to be an excellent hire. And I always sit back and I go, guys, we have no clue. I mean, absolutely no clue There were people trying to tell me, Nathaniel Hackett last year, it was a good press conference, friendly guy, knows what he's talking about. He's with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we just have no idea. I never said last year with Nathaniel Hackett, that's a slam dunk right there. I mean, you can tell by the way he talks and the whole thing. We just have no idea. So you have no clue at all. With any coach at any time, except for I know what you're going to get in Sean Payton. That's the difference. That's why the Broncos had to go with somebody who you know what you're going to get. The results have been there. They've been there with Sean Payton. You know what's going to happen. Now, it's interesting in Arizona, Brian Flores, who took the Minnesota defensive coordinator position, he said it was about personal growth why he took that job with the Vikings. About personal growth. Yet he did not take an opportunity with the Cardinals. And here's a coach who has a lawsuit deriving from a lack of opportunities for minority coaches. And Brian Flores looked like he was in the mix for the Arizona job, but didn't go down that road. It's a very interesting side note with the Brian Flores background. And the lawsuit that is pending right now against the NFL. And so now he goes to the D coordinator spot for the Vikes. So I thought that was interesting. Maybe a head coaching job, and he doesn't take it. And you wonder what's happening in Arizona that Brian Flores didn't go down that road. And he goes to the Vikings defensive coordinator position, which is, might end up ending his career. Anyway, I'm kidding. It didn't do wonders for Ed Donatel with that personnel. And finally, the headline of the day. You know this. Did you see Rex Ryan coming at all to be in the mix for the Denver Broncos defensive coordinator position? Sean Payton. I think that's a home run. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to be with that for a long time. Okay? The Sean Payton hire, I love it. If it goes wrong, it is what it is. Not a mistake. Okay? Great hire. Now he's trying to fill out his staff, and he's going down the road There's some guys that have been rumored to be out there as candidates, like Vance Joseph, the former head coach of the Broncos. A candidate for D coordinator now with the Broncos? And now Rex Ryan being reported by Ian Rappaport, Rap Sheet, he's on top of it, as a favorite. Rex Ryan, former head coach, Jets. I mean, you know the story. Now an ESPN analyst. Rex Ryan as the D coordinator for my Denver Broncos. What should I think of that? I'm coming out of this haze of pink eye the last 2 days, and I almost feel like I'm delirious hearing that. Rex Ryan? I'm not saying it's bad or not. I didn't see that one coming. You watch him as an analyst, and it looked like he's goofy and just having fun, and now we're going to send him down to the Broncos? Really interesting, nonetheless. Michael Rand is up next from the Twin Cities here on the Nate Brown Show, senior writer for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. What does it mean for Bally Sports Network? Their company, Diamond Sports, they didn't pay their interest payment. They didn't pay it yesterday. $140 million. Whoops. Wonder what would happen with me and you. Would we? Whoa. Hey, I don't want to pay my interest payment this month. It's okay. We're going to file for bankruptcy. What does that mean for the Twins, Timberwolves, Wild, that whole scene? Are you going to be able to watch the Twins? Where? If Bally Sports takes a big nosedive. Michael Rand, Star-Tribune, next.
Did you miss an interview or great segment on The Nate Brown Show? Just find The Nate Brown Show podcast and listen wherever you download your podcasts.
Looking for a great used truck or SUV? Danny Menho Toyota has them. Shop a great selection of half-ton trucks and SUVs, imports and domestics, brands like Ford, GMC, Subaru, Nissan, Jeep, and more. Plus, the area's best selection of used Toyotas, Toyota certified pre-owned. Buy with no money down, get financing on the spot with qualified credit. If we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we'll find it for you in our network of dealerships. See us at Danny Menho Toyota or DannyMenhoToyota.com.
Hey Cobbler and Raider fans, you can now show your school spirit and earn money for your booster club. It's easy to get your Raider or Cobbler custom designed debit card today from Highmark Credit Union. Simply open a Highmark free basic checking account and get your Raider or Cobbler debit card. Plus, each swipe will earn money for your booster club. Show your school spirit and support the Raiders and Cobblers with a custom designed debit card. Visit HighmarkFCU.com.
With all the snow and cold temperatures, it's that time of year when people want to plan a trip somewhere warm and sunny. Do your research and purchase from known companies. Your version of luxury accommodations and close to the beach can be completely different than their version. Know exactly what you're to get from your purchase and who to reach out to if issues arise. And make sure that you get everything in writing. If you should have issues with your travel package, call Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986 or visit their website consumer.sd.gov for more information.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Okay, honey. Open wider.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I know. Okay, so wait, let me just get the vacuum to suction.
Would you let your spouse give you a root canal? Renewal by Anderson thinks not. You'd want a specialist or an expert.
Ooh, that looks funny. Okay, hold on. All right.
What do you mean funny?
Okay, I'm just going to look that up on the internet. Okay, you know what? Let me just try the salad tongs.
Oh, no.
That's why when you need replacement windows, you need Renewal by Anderson, because they only do windows. They're experts, no subcontractors.
I'm going to sit on you to get some leverage.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
All right, okay.
Renewal by Anderson. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional, perfect fit. They won't leave you hanging.
Hello, operator. I did a root canal on my husband, and he's sitting on top of the refrigerator, and I think he's bleeding out.
For a perfect fit, call 605-341-7831. Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota.
From the kennel to the coop, whatever the season, Fleet Farm has everything to keep your animals happy and healthy. From training your pup to sit season, to mastering those retrieval skills season. From clipping your horse for competition season, to keeping the backyard birds well-fed season. And of course, loving your pets like family season. There's a reason people say, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, you don't need it. Because we have it all. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Remember to catch me weekday mornings from 7 until 10 a.m. right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, back to Rapid City's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. Glad to have you back on board. We're back after a stint on the disabled list. I was on the DL. I was on the shelf. We're back. Nothing serious. Just pink eye in both eyes for the first time in my life. What a pansy. What a pansy. No, I'm fine. I can see. I could never see clearly, but now I can see. Michael Rand is on the Nate Brown Show tonight, Fox Sports Rapid City. Senior writer, StarTribune.com. Find him on Twitter at RandBall. Minneapolis Star Tribune. Let's talk Minnesota sports. A lot of headlines I want to get to, including this Bally Sports problem that I think is coming here for the Twins. You know, the Wild, I guess, they're kind of getting set. You know, regular season games are on. You're getting postseason there. You'll be fine. But Timberwolves, same story. But the Twins just getting ready to go, and that would be a full season of Twins baseball on Bally Sports. Will it be there? Start there. Michael, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate your time. So here's the story without getting into the weeds, because people are like, hey, what's going on? I just want to watch the Twins, okay? I don't really care how, where. Bally Sports, owned by Diamond Sports, they could be in trouble. Here's what it looks like. They had an interest payment due, $140 million. They took out $8 billion here when they started the purchasing of these regional sports networks. So they need to pay $140 million. They didn't do it yesterday. And so now it means, well, after about 30 days here, there might be a bankruptcy situation. Where do you think this is going to go for Bally Sports Twins games here in a month?
I think it's going to be kind of status quo for this season. I just don't see any drastic changes happening this year. I know Rob Manfred talked today or yesterday about how they've got a plan if these things, if the payments don't go through, things like that. I just can't imagine there being something right before the season where there was this dramatic shift. Like I know they're ready. I know they're preparing for it and things like that. But my sense is that this season there might not be much change. But as we go along, there is definitely going to be some disruption here. If they declare bankruptcy, if they can't make the payments they need to make, then there's going to be trouble, because these teams and these leagues, they rely on the local TV revenue that they're getting paid by, Bally Sports North, the Diamond Sports Company. And the problem is the rights fees that they paid for what they bought these channels for a long time ago, or actually not that long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. They are not worth nearly that much anymore because of a lot of cord cutting, because of a lot of attrition, things like that. So what you have here is a property that's not nearly as valuable. And what you have here, too, is probably the leagues realizing that even if Bally Sports goes away, Diamond Sports goes away, what they get for local TV revenue, they cannot recoup that revenue in a different way. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this all shakes out as we get kind of closer, as we get closer to the time when they actually have to make a decision on these things.
Michael Rand on Bally's regional networks carry 42 different pro sports franchises, 24 Major League Baseball teams. It's a big chunk. They carry the Twins, the T-Wolves, and the Wild on the NHL side. So I look at it and say, okay, how do you think they got here? You said, well, they bought these networks, paid a lot of money for them. Now they're not worth as much. Is this a lesson in media rights fees that have exploded, and now the media companies maybe on the back end, is this a lesson that this might be a tough one to sell, meaning we got to pay a bunch of media rights fees, whether it's to college conferences or to Major League Baseball teams, and we're not going to make enough money?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, maybe the start of, I don't know if we want to call it a bubble, but it's kind of the start of how much of these rights fees really worth, how much of these, how much, especially on, a regional cable network. I still think the national contracts, by and large, have value, have viability, because a lot of those are on channels that don't have any issues. A lot of them are on, either ESPN or on, national, over-the-air broadcasts, things like that. So I don't think those rights are in trouble. I think there's still an appeal to live sports because that is one of the things that people still will watch in real time, as opposed to, the fragmenting of, whether it's, TV dramas, movies, things like that. Those things are not watched in real time anymore. The value of these things is the advertising of people watching them all in real time. And so, but, what we've had here is fewer people having cable and satellite, more and more people going to streaming services or fragmented packages. And a lot of these streaming services like Hulu and YouTube TV, they got into a spot with these rights fees where they said it's no longer worth it to us to pay. The deals we're getting right now are no longer worth it. So they dropped these channels 2-3 years ago, and they've not come back on those major streaming platforms. So that right there took out a huge chunk of audience. And, it's not their biggest chunk, but it was enough that they're feeling it now, where people are like, I can't watch the games I used to watch. And, they're just suffering from a lot of different things. But the biggest thing is that these rights are not worth what they paid for, and that's going to cause a lot of financial problems, sooner rather than later.
Michael Rand on tonight talking about this story. Bally Sports, Twins, T-Wolves, Wild could be in trouble here. They get a 30-day grace period. They missed their $140 million interest payment yesterday. Their parent company, Diamond Sports Group, which owns Bally Sports. And so now it's like, what does it mean for the fans here? Do you think, Michael, we will get to, like Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred said, hey, we're going to make sure that these games are on moving forward? Is Major League Baseball going to get into this streaming everybody's games? Is this going to be a streaming thing?
Yeah, I think the model that might evolve going forward is that these games might be available on some sort of, platform, like they might be available on some sort of, the way you traditionally get it, whether it's through like DirecTV or whether it's through your local cable subscriber as part of a bundle. But they also might be debundled in a streaming option where you can buy a standalone product as well. Now, I think the big thing to note in all that is the combined revenue from those two things, I don't think, at least initially, will come close to what they are getting for the rights fees right now from from Diamond Sports, from Valley Sports right now. Like the Twins, for instance, get about upwards of $40 million every year in rights fees. And what they're going to get from MLB or whatever the solution might be if they go a different route, that's not going to be $40 million. It's going to be less. So the leagues are going to have to find out how they kind of recoup that revenue, what they're willing to sacrifice in the name of a better connection with fans, with a better product and things like that.
I saw, Peacock, I believe, Apple. Didn't they get into showing some Major League Baseball games just kind of on a Thursday night or something like this, on a Friday night? They just got into streaming some initial MLB games. And I wonder, does a big company come in and say, well, we're going to do this like NFL Sunday Ticket. We're going to have every game every time?
They might. It's just going to be hard to find the right price point for a consumer, right? Like people, I've talked to enough experts about this. Like people complain. Right now the Bally app is $20 a month if you want to buy a standalone app that's got you the Wolves and the Wild this season.
Okay.
That people complain about that price, but that's relatively cheap compared to what these rights fees cost and things like that. So I think the big problem here is what's the value? What are consumers willing to pay versus what's the revenue to leagues and teams? So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. I mean, what fans really want is the ability to watch the games in a format that they can that's inclusive to them, that feels like it's fair to them at a price point that's fair to them. And I just don't know what that's going to look like in the future.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The Twins season getting ready to roll with spring training starting. Will you be able to watch them? You think here early on you're going to be fine this season. They'll make it work somehow, and then I guess the rubber's going to meet the road of, okay, how are we gonna figure out where the Twins games are going to be? Michael Rand on tonight, StarTribune.com, senior writer. Find him on Twitter at Randball. Finally, I'll ask you this one Vikings question. Brian Flores, he said he took the Vikings job, out of personal growth. He chose that one essentially not even entertaining the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job. What do you think of the Flores fit and that he took this spot?
I think the fit is really good. I was pretty impressed by his introductory news conference on Wednesday. He seems like a very thoughtful person. He seems like he fits in with what Kevin O'Connell wants to do. So I like the hire. I thought it was interesting that he declined to go through that second round of interviews with Arizona. And you imagine at a certain point when someone does that, A, maybe they don't think the fit is great, and B, they might have an inclination or an inkling that maybe they're not going to get the job and they don't want to lose out on another opportunity waiting for that to come around. So I don't know exactly what was going on there. I think it's a good fit. I think it's interesting that, if he has a good year here, if he is successful, though, he could be a candidate next year for a head coaching job. And that's a good problem to have, but it's also a question of continuity, because then you would be on to your third defensive coordinator in 3 years, and we just went through that whole thing where Mike Zimmer had 6 offensive coordinators in 6 years. So I'll be interested to see how well Flores does. I like the way it looks. It's kind of a double-edged thing, right? It's like if he doesn't succeed, then you're disappointed. If he does succeed, he might be a head coach candidate next year, and you might be looking to replace him.
Yeah, that's interesting, and it might happen. Michael Rand on tonight from the Twin Cities. StarTribune.com for the coverage. Rand Ball on Twitter. Michael, good stuff. Thanks for the time.
You bet. Take care, Nate.
Thanks for coming on. Michael Rand on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. StarTribune.com, senior writer, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Diamond Sports Group. Okay? The story is this. Diamond Sports Group purchased the regional sports networks. You know what this used to be under Fox. Fox Northwest, Fox Midwest, okay? All of that. You know this. The regional sports networks. It went out from Fox to Diamond Sports Group for $10.6 billion just a few years ago. The company had to borrow more than $8 billion to make the purchase. And now they're not generating the revenue from the regional sports networks to essentially take care of their bills. They have to pay all of this money to the teams outside of the purchase price a few years ago. Now they're going to pay all the money, $40 million a year to the Twins, for example. And this happens all throughout the country with these regional sports networks. I mean, there's a lot of them. Again, they carry 42 different pro sports franchises, 24 Major League Baseball teams, 16 NBA, and 12 NHL. I mean, I love it because I turn it on. I've got DirecTV. I can watch it all. Twins, Wild, Timberwolves. Okay? I mean, I love that piece. And now you're sitting here, okay, what's going to happen? They missed their interest payment yesterday. A lot of people say they're going to use this 30-day thing to talk to creditors and the whole thing, and they could file for bankruptcy, and now we got a problem. And now the question is, how valuable is Major League Baseball? For example, how valuable is that for a media company to come in and say, what are you going to pay the Twins to carry their games? How valuable is it? It's showing Diamond Sports Group, well, it's not as valuable as we thought because we're underwater. And then everybody that thinks, I know streaming's a big thing. I get it. But here's what's happening, folks. I'm seeing it right before my eyes. Okay? People have cut their cords, DirecTV, cable, stuff like this. They're like, oh, I can stream stuff, man. I'm good to go for $50 a month. And then get ready. I got to have this streaming service for $40, this streaming for $50, this streaming for $60, and now I'm up to, now I need to have this to watch this team, to watch NFL, to watch this. Now I got to have all these streaming services. It's the same price as I was paying with cable. And now I just have to hop through all the apps. I feel like we're thinking, oh, this is cute. This is good. Yeah, I've got YouTube. I've got this. I got that. I got all the stuff. And now everybody's going every which way. Major League Baseball is going to be here. NFL's going to be on Amazon. NFL Sunday Ticket's going to be on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? And now you're going, yeah, I was saving money. Now it's interesting. Just heads up on it. I just feel like this streaming onslaught, now every sport's going every which way with the streaming stuff. I like streaming, okay. I just want a standard. I'm watching the game. I have the sports package on DirecTV. I can see everything right there. It's a beautiful thing. Well, it's way too expensive. Yeah, you have to spend some money on it, but the streaming stuff, once they get you and everybody's on the streaming, now they've got you. Coming right back with a little lesson today on the Nate Brown Show, huh? It's like the old man yelling at the clouds. I hate streaming. Not quite. Craig Maddox is in next. He's older than I. SDPB Sports. East River meets West River on the way.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Great news from Dale's Tire and Retreading. We are now part of the Pops Tire Service Network. Same 2 locations, new name. Pops Tire is committed to the same great service that Dale's has provided Rapid City. Pops is one of the largest commercial tire and retread dealers in the country. Whatever your tire choice, make Pops your choice. We welcome this opportunity to support and grow with the Dale's Tire customers. Visit your local Pops for all your auto, light truck, commercial, and farm tire needs.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Clear skies tonight with a low of 21. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Bright sunshine tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 54. Lows around 24. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times Saturday with daytime highs approaching 49. 42 Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 33.
Hey Rush fans, it's Rob at the Firehouse Skybox. We are your official home for Rapid City Rush hockey. When the Rush are playing on the road, join other Rush fans at the Skybox and enjoy some great food and cheer on your Rush. We show every Rush away game and we'll have Rush-themed giveaways every road trip. You'll get a chance to win great Rush prizes with the purchase of a drink or food item. The Skybox has the best food and the best Rush game day experience. Go Rush!
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Cody Young at High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center. I started High Plains PT in 1999, and we've been providing personalized care in Rapid City to help our patients get back in action. Remember, you have a choice for who you go to see for physical therapy. With our state-of-the-art Aquatic Therapy Center, we are equipped to help you achieve your health goals. At High Plains, we'll give you the one-on-one treatment you deserve. We look forward to working with you at our new facility. To get started, visit highplainspt.com.
Hey, it's Chris Broussard. Remember to catch the Odd Couple weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, let's get back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in the Nate Brown Show. We're back on a Thursday. We've battled back from the depths of pink eye. Oh, it's okay. I went back to 4th grade. I got pink eye for the first time in my life. It was excellent. It was excellent. I'm back in Fox Sports Rapid City. Craig Maddox on tonight. East River meets West River on a Thursday. SDPB Sports from Sioux Falls. Craig, good to have you back on. How are you?
I'm good. I have never had pink eye, ever.
Well,
ever.
Careful that you say that. I was just saying that. I was saying that because my daughter got it a couple of weeks ago. I said, oh, man, we all survived. We're good to go. Boom, it popped me on Monday.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. I said, I've never had it in my life either. So it's an experience, okay? It's an experience.
It takes a lot to knock you down. I know that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, I'm back in. I want to get your take on a few things here. One is some basketball stuff in South Dakota. And I want to get your read on some things that have been discussed at the advisory committee meeting last week. The one is allowing Class AA teams to play 2 games against Class A or B without being penalized. And they want to push that forward. They want that. That came from Rapid City Stevens right here in town, that proposal. They want to play at least a couple of games against Class A or B squads without being penalized. Are you a fan?
Yeah, I think that would be great. That'd be great. There's no reason why St. Thomas More can't play all of the Rapid City schools. In fact, it should be on the schedule, one home every year. And if they wanted to go, play Hot Springs or whatever else, yeah, why not? If White River has a pretty good team, which they normally do, why not bring White River out to Rapid and play a game? I mean, why not?
Okay, I'm with you on it. I really hope that it'll keep going. It's going to go to the athletic directors coming up for a vote to see, okay, let's not penalize the AA teams, and let's see if we can play some Class A, Class B squads maybe here close to home. So this is what's going to happen then, Craig, is the AA teams are not going to play a full AA schedule, and you're okay with that?
I guess so. I would like to see all of the AA schools play all of the AA schools. I know that would have a scheduling nightmare to be one of those where, again, like they've done in years past, Sioux Falls comes out, Jefferson comes out and plays Central on a Friday night, and then Stevens on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, I would love to see that, I think. But I know scheduling is tough at times, and I guess I'm okay with it. But if I had number one option, I would like to see all of the AA schools play all of the AA teams, but it would also mean we'd have to play more basketball games.
Yeah, the problem is they do want home and homes like Jefferson. They want to play the Sioux Falls schools home and home, not just, now I got to go down to Yankton to play somebody.
Yep. And I understand that too, but it would be great in the long term that all the AA schools get a chance to play them at least once during the season. But I understand that, and it's a tough enough deal for all the ADs to come up with their schedules when it comes for all of the sports besides football.
Craig Maddox on tonight talking high school basketball in South Dakota. One more on this they discussed. So in Class A and B basketball, they go to a SODAC 16. You play your region, and then the top 2 in the region make the 16. Okay? Then they seed them out and play them. They're looking at changing that from the SODAC 16. No more regions, a SODAC 32. Seeding 1 through 32. So you might have Rapid City Christian out here. Might have to play a team from way back East River, for example. No more regions. Just start from there. Where do you stand?
Yeah, I have been I have loved the region aspect of it, but I can understand if you want to get the top teams at the state tournament, you take the top 16 or you take the top 32 and then you mix them up, whatever, and then that's your tournament. I can understand that. That's the goal of trying to get the best teams at the tournament. I understand that, and if the ADs like it, well, then the coaches. I would suspect that it is not a slam dunk among the coaches. The ADs come up with the vote, which eventually gets passed, and then the association looks at it. But this again comes from the ground up. This isn't the association saying, "Hey, we got this idea, let's do it." A lot of these rules, they all come from the bottom up. They come from the advisory committees, and from the advisory committees, they go to the ADs, and then the ADs vote on it, and then the ADs, whatever they recommend, goes to the board, and then the board will give their final okay if that's what they want to do.
SODAC 32, I don't think we need it. I think it's people out, East River for the most part saying, hey, we're getting shut out. We got a great region out here, and we can't even get our teams out of here. I think we break it down far enough to where it's still 2 teams from a region, and now you're still going to get the best 8 out of the final 16. I think for the most part, I think for the most part, Nate, it's been working out pretty good. But if the goal, again, is to get the top seeded teams in the tournament, then I can see that's the reasoning why. I kind of still like the regions. I think it means a lot more. You get some good rivalries. You can fill up the gyms with a region final. It makes it pretty darn exciting. Okay, Craig Maddock on SDPB Sports from Sioux Falls. I've got a question of the day for you in high school basketball. So there's a video circulating. A team is up 49-19. They're pressing with 2 minutes left. The coach...
Not good. Not good.
The opposing coach says, well, just give them the ball. Don't even play anymore. So 3 straight times the kid who's taking the ball out just hands the ball to the other team. They score. He does it again and again and again. The coach just bags it, says, just give him the ball.
Yep, I saw that.
Okay, you saw that. So do you think high school coaches should get upset at other coaches about that?
Not about that, but I would be very upset if you're up by 30 points and you're still pressing. That drives me crazy.
So if I'm the coach, I can get upset about that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is absolutely crazy that you're up that high, late in the game, and you're still pressing? Really? I've said this many times. Basketball coaches are the weirdest creatures on the planet.
Oh, really? I've not heard that. Wow.
Yeah, they can be crazy. They are something else. Every foul is going against them. Everything is against them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, so I wanted
Speaking of basketball, my latest In Play podcast released just over an hour ago.
Okay.
And it features a guy that has done something that has never been done. He did it, and it's never been done since. And it's Kent Hyde from Oneida. When he was a senior, he averaged 50 points a game.
Wow.
28 games as a senior at Oneida. He averaged 50 points a game at Oneida. And, they won the state title the year before. And you know what? He became a pretty good businessman down the road. Of course, played very well at South Dakota State, held all the scoring records there when he went there. But then had a very, very bad accident and did something after that as an achievement. You got to listen to the podcast. Go to SDPB Sports on Twitter or Facebook and catch the story of Kent Hyde of Oneida.
Wow, 50 points per game. His team must have been pressing a lot, up 49-9. Anyway.
Well, they didn't have a shot clock, didn't have a three-point arc.
I like it. By the way, last one, shot clock. We're one of 9 states that have it. Is it time to make it mandatory? There was a game in Oklahoma that finished last week, 4-2, a varsity boys basketball game, 4-2. Is it mandatory? Shot clock nationally.
It's got to be up to each individual state because there's a cost factor. There's a cost factor that comes up with the shot clock. I understand.
If we can afford it, anybody can. Okay.
Well, you got that right. If South Dakota, of course, we're trailblazers on a lot of things when it comes to athletics. We're the first one with the libero and volleyball and the smaller ball, the girls' basketball size. We were the first ones to do that.
Look at this history lesson on the Nate Brown Show from Craig Maddock.
Trendsetters. I'm excited because I get to come out next week to see you.
Wrestling.
State wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stay in touch. State wrestling coming up just over a week away. Craig Maddock on tonight from Sioux Falls. SDPB Sports, his podcast out right now in play. Craig, thanks a lot. Always appreciate it.
See you next week, Nate.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Craig Maddock on tonight. SDPB Sports on Twitter at Craig Maddock. Live from Sioux Falls, talking high school hoops. Okay, so question of the day. Let's visit that. It always happens. It's happened in South Dakota. And now there's a video circulating. I don't know where this game was. It's a high school basketball game. Team's up 49-19. 2 minutes left. They're still pressing, and the other coach gives up. The other coach tells his players, just give them the ball. Just give them the ball. Just give them the ball. Okay? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that? Can the high school coach get upset at another coach if they're full court pressing when it's a blowout? Okay? That's my question of the day. We'll answer the question and discuss when we come back, along with the Super Bowl. How much more money could they make on the Super Bowl if they take this TV executive's advice? I don't think you're going to like it, but it's next.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jensen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Winter is here, and at Renewal by Andersen, we've gotten used to these words from our clients. Wow, our house is so much warmer with our new windows from Renewal by Andersen. There is no place like home. A warm, comfortable home on a bitter winter night. And Renewal by Andersen's windows installed by our certified professionals can significantly reduce your heating bills, make your home secure, wonderfully warm, and welcoming. Scan that QR code, visit RBARapidCity.com now. Warm up at home with Renewal by Andersen. RBARapidCity.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
At Denny Manhole Rushmore Honda, we have a lot full of used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Shop imports and domestics. Many are local one-owner trade-ins. Plus, the area's best selection of used Hondas and Honda Certified Pre-Owned, with financing as low as 3.49 APR. Or buy any used with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. See us at Denny Manhole Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Financing on select Certified Pre-Owned. Length of contract is limited. Offer expires 2/28/23. Offers with qualified credit.
For all your office, shop, and storage needs, contact Quality Commercial Properties, LLC at Samco Business Plaza. Quality, affordable, reliable. For the best rate, best facility, and best customer service, it's Quality Commercial Properties, LLC at Samco Business Plaza. There really is nothing better on the west side of Rapid City. Call 605-721-9777. Quality Commercial Properties, LLC at Samco Business Plaza.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Getting heard weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Hey, welcome back. The Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Rapid City. I'm glad to be back, feeling better, up and rolling. In the Drive at 5, presented by Summit Automotive Group. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there when it comes to your next pre-owned vehicle search. Look right there on your phone, SummitAutoGRP.com. Then stop by. No high-pressure sales gimmicks there from Stacy and Matt. Just the Summit difference. Car buying truly built around you, okay? Find out how. SummitAutoGRP.com. Start there on your next pre-owned vehicle search. We'll go to Denver tonight. Doug Ottewell's on live from MileHighSports.com. Doug Ottewell in. Broncos looking for a defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan being thrown around today quite a bit. That one I didn't see coming. Dante Dudley's on tonight. He's the head coach of the Rapid City Marshals, that indoor football team, in its second season now. New ownership now. Where's this going here? Rapid City Marshals preseason game is Sunday. Sunday night there at the Summit Arena at the Monument. Dante Dudley's the head coach. We'll get an update later this hour. Okay, question of the day, everybody. Question of the day. Video circulating of a high school basketball game where a team's blowing another team out, 2 minutes left, and they're still pressing. So the coach that's getting pressed just bags it and tells his team, just take the ball out and give them the ball. Every time, just give them the ball. And so that's what they do, and then the score keeps racking up and the whole thing. And so I've seen this over the years, the etiquette of high school basketball. I'll tell you the right etiquette. We all know it. You can't press when you're up that much. You just can't press when you're up that much, okay? Now, if I'm the opposing coach, do I just bag it? Oh, just give them the ball. We're done. We're gonna give up. No, I'm not gonna do that either. I don't want to do that either. I don't need to just bail. Okay, we get so upset. So we just bag it. I know the other coach, you shouldn't press. You're up 40. Okay, 2 minutes left. Show some sportsmanship. That's one of those things we got to kind of remember sometimes. But if you're the other coach, we get so mad these days, we just say, we quit, I bag it. Okay? What do you say about that? 79% of you say it's okay for the coach to get upset because that's bad sportsmanship. 21% of you say the other team should just play and get better. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
I would give that losing coach and the fans that didn't like it a little violin, the smallest one I could buy, and I'd play him a song.
Oh, come on. You can't press.
Nate,
you can't press, though. Come on.
Let me throw something at you. Nate, let me throw something at you. So I'm wrestling a guy. I kill him. I pinned him every time.
Okay.
Well, he's a nice kid. Should I not pin him the next match and cost my team a point? Or
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think so.
Here's my thing is, Nate, we have something called an off season. Now, if you want to get better, I suggest you take that off season better. If not, take your whiny little butt and go play for the Denver Broncos or the Minnesota Vikings.
Finishing strong.
I think you had red eye, not pink eye, Nate.
Oh, red eye?
Yeah, because your Denver Broncos could spend another $25 million on a coach.
You guys
haven't won 8 games, and I can't even remember.
I don't live that hard of a life. I didn't have red eye. I had pink eye. It's too bad. All right, buddy.
You're going to have red eye next year because your Broncos are still going to be out of it.
I'm going to have red something else. Okay, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting in. I'm going to have a case of the red. Anyway, we'll go there. It's a family show. It's a family show here. By the way, that's my right answer on that. This video's going around, and the other coach that's getting pressed, he just bags it. He says, give him the ball. Give him the ball. He's so upset. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. We just basically quit. And that other team's going over the top because they're pressing. They're up 40 with 2 minutes left. And you can't have it. You can't have it. Here's the right answer. Play basketball. Play half-court defense. Don't quit. Play hard. You're still playing basketball hard. Have the sportsmanship to not full-court press when you've already beat down your opponent. Okay, there's a difference of quitting. You don't just let them score, but you don't have to full-court press. Do we got it? I think that's okay. I think that's usually the right way to handle it. Play hard. I don't need to press. I'm up a bunch on you. I've seen teams around here do that. They get up a ton. They still play hard, but we're not going to full-court press you anymore. Okay? That's the right way to handle it. That other coach just bagging it, I don't like that either. Oh, just give them the ball and we teach the kids. Yeah, it's like, no, teach the kids. Call a timeout. Do whatever you have to do. Say, let's finish this out. There's 2 minutes left. Let's take care of the ball. Get a man in the middle. I mean, go through the whole thing. Coach them. Don't bag it. Okay. Really quick here. I want to get this out here. John Skipper was the former head of ESPN. Okay? Do you know this name? John Skipper. Big TV executive. And he came up with this idea and that idea, and some didn't work very well at all at ESPN. He has an idea for the Super Bowl moving forward. Now, this is just John Skipper, TV executive, an idea of how you can make the most money off the Super Bowl. His suggestion is, let's make it pay-per-view at about $200, $250 a household. He went through it and said, people are going to do that. They aren't going to miss the game. For some, it's the only game they watch all year. You're going to have big Super Bowl parties. People are going to buy it at their house, and you're going to make even more money that way. He said, that's the single best way I can think of for the NFL to increase their annual revenue right now is to make the Super Bowl a pay-per-view event. Okay. Here's the deal. John Skipper, TV executive, he's thinking revenue. He's thinking that. That right there, I get what he's saying. Would we pay per view for the Super Bowl? Many of us would. I hate to break it to you. Many of us would. I know I would. Okay, and I know a lot of folks that would. You're not going to just bail on the Super Bowl. However, there is a disconnect. John Skipper, I've kind of followed his career. Some of the things he's done on the programming side, a little dicey. I'll just say, they haven't worked out. And by the way, he's out at ESPN. He's not there anymore. John Skipper, he's looking at it from, is there a disconnect when you make a Super Bowl pay-per-view? Do the fans absolutely love that? I think it rubs them the wrong way. They're going to do it, but it's the money grab. It's just one more thing when everybody's just trying to get by, just trying to get to work, just trying to get the kids here and there and everywhere. And with just one more thing, and now we got a pay-per-view for the Super Bowl, it makes that game and that experience just a little less happy, just a little. I don't enjoy it as much. I really don't. I had to pay, if you had to pay $200, watch the Super Bowl, some of them might be a blowout, whatever it is, you're just not going to love the NFL as much. Take that for what it's worth. They'll probably make some money on it. People will do it. I think in the big picture, it would be another John Skipper mistake. That's just what he said today. He's like, oh, if I'm looking at the NFL, how to make even more money, I'd do that. Okay, in the near term, maybe. I think that one hits people wrong. We're paying for everything every which way already. Coming right back with Doug Ottewell live from Denver. Let's talk Deion Sanders for the Buffs and the Broncos. Will Sean Payton get Rex Ryan to be his defensive coordinator? That's something. Doug Ottewell from Denver next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show.
Have you hit a pothole or curb with your car? Does your vehicle need an adjustment or have an alignment, shock, or strut issue? Black Hills Tire is your one-stop shop for complete automotive service and repair in the Black Hills area. Trust your vehicle with no one else but Black Hills Tire. Contact Weston, Denise, and the guys at Black Hills Tire, where honesty, reliability, and safety is their top priority. Black Hills Tire voted the #1 shop for automotive repair and brake repair and tire store in the Black Hills. Ask about their free pickup and delivery. Black Hills Tire. Check them out online at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Clear skies tonight with a low of 21. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Bright sunshine tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 54. Lows around 24. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times Saturday with daytime highs approaching 49. 42 Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 31.
Round 2 of the Rapid City rivalry takes place this week on Fox Sports Rapid City. Rapid City Central hopes to avenge an early season loss to Rapid City Stevens as the Cobblers battle the Raiders in girls basketball Thursday at 7 at Carroll Higher Gymnasium. Then on Friday, the boys take to the court as Rapid City Stevens hosts Rapid City Central at 7. Join Dean Gurr and I, Jerome Wickersham, with the pregame show each night at 6:45. The Raiders and the Cobbler girls Thursday, the Raiders and the Cobbler boys on Friday, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
First Gold continues to be Deadwood's most rewarding gaming destination. Every Friday through Sunday, win your share of $8,600 in promo play through hot seat drawings. Don't miss the Lucky 7 $7,000 giveaway on Saturday night, where we draw for $1,000 cash winners every hour from 5 till 11 p.m. And on Saturday, February 25th, it's Deadwood's biggest single-day giveaway, the $18,000 Golden Cash Blast. First Gold Gaming Resort. It's where Deadwood begins and the winning never ends.
All right, Rapid City, one of my favorite places is Pour 54 downtown. If you're looking for the best place to have a cold one with friends, maybe date night with your wife, or just go and watch the big game with some buddies in their great sports area upstairs, Pour 54 has it all. Plus 54 taps of beer from local and regional breweries, and it's self-serve. You don't have to wait around. You can get what you want right away. And the food's out of this world. I love the Detroit-style pan pizzas. Check out Pour 54. You'll love it. Downtown Main Street.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Thursday, the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad to be back. Glad you're here. Fox Sports Rapid City. If you missed any parts of the show, remember the Nate Brown Show podcast available. We'll put it up tonight. Of course, high school basketball tonight and tomorrow. The Rapid City rivalry. Stevens Central girls tonight. Stevens Central boys tomorrow. Live play-by-play on Fox Sports Rapid City, your exclusive home. Hey, Doug Ottewell's on tonight in the Drive at 5 from Denver. Mile High Sports. Let's talk Broncos, Buffs. I mean, we're going to have to talk Deion Sanders and the Buffs quite a bit. I have that feeling. Find him on Twitter at @DOttewell, Doug Ottewell, milehighsports.com. Doug, good to have you on. How are you?
Not too bad, man. What's going on?
I'm doing all right. I want to get your read on this. First of all, this isn't a Broncos question, but John Skipper, former TV executive with ESPN, and you've been in the media business a long time. I've been in it quite a while. So I get value and I get revenue and the whole thing. John Skipper's suggestion, if the NFL wants to make more money, even more money, go to a pay-per-view Super Bowl. I say people will pay, Doug. They'll pay, but I think in the big picture, it's a downer. It's a loser in the big picture when we're already paying out our ears for everything.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I just, would people pay? Yeah, but there's also a bunch of people that won't pay. And how many people, how many people are at a house? At bars, it's regulated. The what it costs to get a pay-per-view fight or something, it's regulated by how big the bar is. We can't really go into people's house and say, hey, we're gonna charge you more because we think you're gonna have a party. And so I don't know. To me, it starts to make it look more difficult to sell ads. I mean, and ads, the ad revenue for a Super Bowl has got to be unreal.
Unreal.
So if it's harder
$7 million
to
a spot.
prove,
$7 million a spot.
Yeah, it's also kind of one of those, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's not like the NFL's poor. I mean, the NFL, could they make more money? I mean, sure, but, it's the richest league in sports.
Yeah, I think it's a loser. It's interesting. It's not the first time it's been thrown around, but I don't think people in the long run, like I said, sports fans, people like that would watch it. Would 115 million people like this past Sunday? I don't think so. Let's go to this. So the Broncos are trying to get a defensive coordinator, and the reporting, Doug, is, well, some of these guys maybe didn't want the job, or Sean Payton didn't want them as much as people thought. And now we're down this road of maybe a Rex Ryan hire at D coordinator. So what are we supposed to believe, that Rex Ryan was the fourth option, or is he really maybe the first option and people don't have a clue?
Well, that's a good question, because the one thing that we've kind of learned is that, Ejiro Evero was, whatever happened, I don't think either side wanted either side. Everybody agreed that was a good thing to just split ways. There's not many people left. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, the Sean Payton hiring was really late in the process, and a lot of these coordinators and things that were good had moved on, or are moving up because there's a void ahead of them wherever they're at. It's a strange situation, no doubt, because I can't think that Rex Ryan is your first choice, but he also could be a really intriguing choice. He's sort of the what's behind door number 3. I mean, at one point, he was a great defensive mind. He's just been out of the game long, so there's a risk there. Vance Joseph is flying into town, I believe, tonight to interview for this job. And to me, that would be a colossal failure. He hasn't had a good defense ever. I don't know why he's considered a favorite for any defensive job. I mean, he was terrible last year. The Cardinals' defense was awful. He had a bad defense when the Broncos hired him in Miami. I mean, I have no idea why anybody thinks Vance Joseph would be a good hire. You and I lamented about Vance Joseph for long enough. We don't need to do it again.
I believe that. I think about this. I go, I did not see the Rex Ryan thing coming. Sometimes, I mean, we don't see stuff coming. I think the Sean Payton hire is excellent. I'm on board with it. He was my number one choice, so I'm excited there. And I go, okay, how important is this hire on the defensive side? Because here's the dynamic, Doug. It was a great defense under Evero. And so I wonder, if it's not a great defense, now there's going to be scrutiny on who's running it. That's what I wonder.
Well, that is one theory, is that who wants to take a job where the best thing that they can do is go down. I mean, the defense was really good, so it is kind of one of those things where the bar's already up there. You come in, you take the job, the defense takes a step back, you look like the reason it took a step back. So I do understand that, but I would still think that there should be some guys, and at the top of that list should be Evero, but for whatever reason, that was just not going to work, apparently, that would want to coach under Payton and, probably enjoy a run of success. I don't get why. I got to think that there's a young guy out there who looks at it and says, hey, if I go in there, there's a good defense in place. I think there's a better chance that a guy comes in and he runs what's looked at as a good defense. Do they look as good or statistically as great as the last one? Maybe not, but I don't see them falling completely off. And I think it's more likely that the Broncos' record gets better. The Broncos have a chance to go to the playoffs, if not this year, the next year. So all of a sudden now, instead of running a team that's got a great defense and doesn't win, you're running a defense that's pretty good and is winning. So I don't know that it should scare guys off, but maybe it is.
Okay, last one on this. If Sean Payton, let's say Rex Ryan gets it, as Ian Rappaport's saying, hey, he's one of the favorites, Rex Ryan. Last time he coached was 2016 with the Bills. He had a good defense rolling at the Jets. He did. So if he gets Rex Ryan, what should we think? Meaning, is that a bad look right away? He's getting an older guy, he's been out of the game. Or let's give it some time here because we really don't know.
Well, I would be inclined to say let's give it some time. I don't know that there's a candidate out there that's a great look for the Broncos, but I definitely think, especially from a locals perspective, Rex Ryan's far more enticing than Vance Joseph. You can sell the idea that Rex Ryan was once a great defensive mind and he's just been out of the game and he's ready to come back. You can sell that to fans. You can't sell a guy that has never statistically had a good defense and was an utter failure here as a head coach. I mean, the problem with that is the first time they look bad, this fan base turns south in a hurry. I mean, you look at the Melvin Gordon situation. There wasn't a fan in Denver who thought, oh, this is great, let's bring Melvin Gordon back. They all thought, this is dumb. What are we doing? We've got our running back of the future in place already. You're just muddying the waters. And lo and behold, it turned out to be a disaster. So I think the same parallel could exist with Vance Joseph. With Rex Ryan, you could look bad, but at least there's a chance people could get excited about it beforehand. I just think you bring in a guy that no one here likes, you're poised to have a real angry fan base the first time someone hangs 30 points on you.
Doug Ottewell on tonight from Denver, milehighsports.com. I want to go to this Colorado Buff story. Deion Sanders says what's on his mind, pretty open. I wonder how it's all going to work in Boulder. I really do sometimes. He talks in an interview last week, and he says, when I'm looking at quarterback recruits, here's the direct quote, we want a mother, father, dual parents. And then he went on to say, 3.5 GPA, got to be smart, no bad decisions off the field, got to be a leader. I get all that other stuff. I thought it was interesting. In today's world, Deion, he's old school, discipline, all of that. He says we want mother, father, dual parents. What are people saying about that line?
You know, it honestly has not really been a big topic of discussion. I mean, the Broncos dominate the headlines here still, but we have, it has been kicked around. I think for whatever reason, the excitement about Deion supersedes anything that he's said that could possibly be perceived as negative.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting take because first and foremost, I think it's so refreshing to have a guy who says what he thinks instead of gives a BS political answer about everything. So the fact that he just comes out and says it, regardless of whether I believe it or buy it or whatever, I love it. But I would also say that it's interesting in Colorado, especially because Colorado has had a history of great quarterbacks who might not have come from, the most stable situations, not just quarterbacks, players in general.
Sure.
You look at some of those 90, 91 buffs, even the 95 buffs. I mean, those guys weren't always coming from, the Valor Christian high schools of the world with, successful, two-parent families and two-parent homes. I mean, there's guys like CJ, for example, Charles Johnson. He came from, poverty-stricken Detroit. And, he turned out to be the guy who ended up winning the national championship in the Orange Bowl. So I don't think that that has nothing to do with Deion's beliefs. I just think it's an interesting take for here, considering the history of that program.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But
I said this, though, Doug. I said a lot of coaches have their own type of systems and players they want. All coaches are discriminatory in certain ways. I want this guy for this reason. These are the guys. They just won't tell you, hey, here's how we kind of look at family situations. I know coaches look at all family situations. They all do it.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing that I absolutely love about Deion is that he says anything he wants, and he has no fear of repercussion. I mean, I love that because, and this goes well beyond sports, it drives me nuts that in 2023 you can't say anything you think because 90% of what anybody thinks is going to offend somebody. And it's a real tiptoe world, especially when you're in the spotlight like a head coach of a major athletic program. And I like the fact that he just throws it out there and says, what? Deal with it.
Yeah, he's not going to tiptoe. I don't think so. And I wonder if the, academic folks at Boulder are going to, if he wins, I don't think they're going to say much because the rest of the whole CU community is going to be behind him. If he's struggling, now we're going to have that same type of situation, I believe, with, football's not that important. Let's get our priorities straight.
Yeah, I do think it's very interesting, though, because from like a media standpoint, you know the game, schools, teams, whatever, they've got their sports information directors, and they kind of control the flow of things. They control the message. They control the media opportunities. Not Deion. I mean, he's got his own people. He's got his own. He's a little bit of he has a little bit of the Russell Wilson thing, but with regard to promotion and media relations. Like the traditional CU media relations, their role in this entire thing is 180 degrees different than what it's ever been. And this is coming from a department that was led by Dave Platty, a name that I don't expect most of listeners to know, but Platty's kind of the godfather of sports information in this region. I mean, you look at any job in Colorado or really any of the surrounding states, and there's a good chance that it's this kid that came through Dave Platty's sports information program. And so the fact that Deion comes in and kind of says, this is how I'm going to do it, and it's just, okay. it's a very interesting shift.
Oh, it's fascinating right now. Yeah, it's fascinating right now. Deion doing things his own way, and so far, CU's kind of going, okay, we'll see. Let's see. Doug Ottewell on tonight. MileHighSports.com for the coverage. Live from Denver. Doug, always good, man. Thanks for the time.
You bet. I'll talk to you soon, Nate.
I appreciate it. Doug Ottewell, good to hit. Broncos, Buffs, MileHighSports.com. Doug Ottewell on tonight here in the Drive at 5. Let's come back on the Nate Brown Show with head coach of the Rapid City Marshals. The indoor football team is back for a second season. Same coach, new ownership, new players. What's the approach? Dante Dudley's the head coach. Live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Need service? Denny Menno Toyota services all makes and models, even if you didn't buy it from us. Our certified techs do everything from oil changes to major repairs. Plus, we offer free inspections. Need tires? We'll beat anyone's price on the same exact tires and free rotations for the life of the tires. Need convenience? Schedule your service online and get free car washes and a free courtesy shuttle. We're at your service at Denny Menno Toyota on East Mall Drive or at DennyMennoToyota.com.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we appreciate innovations in food delivery, like how the ancient Italians used to slingshot hot meals to hungry Romans on the go. And while we appreciate the creativity, it turned out to be, well, a little messy. So, we found a better way to bring you our legendary pizza, the country's best chicken, and our one-of-a-kind cactus bread. Just place your order online, on the phone, or on our app, and then pick it up or have it delivered right to your door. All nicely packaged in clean, sturdy, non-flying boxes. No catching necessary. Pizza Ranch. Mmm.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at BHOSC.com.
So at Black Hills Health and Wellness Center, we have 4 chiropractors in the clinic, and our big focus is working on the musculoskeletal health of patients. Being in business in 39 years and having done business with every single bank in the area, in the community, in the last 2 years, we have definitely realized how much we have been missing out with the extra go-the-distance service that Pioneer Bank and Trust is willing to provide you. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Stock up and save on the toughest filters in the business during Wick's Filter Sale Days at your local Sturtevant's Auto Value Parts store. Not only will you get the best deal of the season on our very best filters, but you'll also find deep discounts on oil, fluids, grease, batteries, and more. Upgrade your filters during Wick's Filter Sale Days at your local Sturtevant's Auto Value Parts store. See store for official sale dates. Sturtevant's Auto Value. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold I-CAR certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Hey, this is Rob Parker from The Odd Couple. Don't miss our show weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. And now we'll send you back to Rapid City Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. Your Sports, Your Show, The Nate Brown Show, from the biggest national names to the local sports newsmakers. We got you covered. 2 hours, thought-provoking sports talk, 4 to 6. Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show podcast also available if you miss anybody live. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Download it where you find your podcasts. Apple, Google, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon. We're out there. The Nate Brown Show podcast available. Let's welcome in Rapid City Marshals head football coach Dante Dudley. Back in his second year. Now it's a new chapter here. Second year for Coach Dudley. New ownership, new general manager, some new players coming in. So a new chapter of Rapid City Marshals football. It starts Sunday, Summit Arena. Preseason matchup as they kick things off. They're going to have 5 more home games after this. Dante Dudley on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Coach, good to have you back on. How are you?
Great. And yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate your time. So you and I have talked last year and over the season, and you took over and you know, brand new organization. You're just getting a handle on things, and some things went well, some things didn't go well on the field, and then later it didn't go well off the field. Let me ask you right now, you get a chance here, you stay with it. I'm going to ask you, why'd you want to do this job again?
One of the conversations I had with the owners, the owners made me feel like they were really trying to make this whole thing work. I told them that I would love to see this thing succeed, and I felt responsible for bringing the guys that we brought in last year out here, so I stuck it out for last year. And in conversations with Rebecca and West, they made me feel comfortable about the direction that they wanted to go in, and I'm still here.
Okay. How much better do you feel right now as you approach this season? You guys have been practicing. You're getting ready. You got a preseason. You essentially kick the season off Sunday to get a feel for things. How do you feel right now as a football coach?
I feel great as a football coach. This is a year that I feel like I can actually just focus on the coaching aspect of it. They've delegated the duties that I had to do last year to other people, so therefore I'm solely focused on coaching football this year.
Okay, I'll ask you about this, and you've been around this indoor football market. When you look at this league here, and, you know, there's been some shakeups, but now there's some different owners that have come in, and you said, like Wes and Rebecca here in Rapid City, they want to make this thing work. How do you see this league going right now?
Looks like they're going to be trending in the right direction. It seems like we have the teams there's a bulk of teams that want to see this league expand, and that's the direction that it sounds like they're going in. They won't expand too fast, but it sounds like they're going to expand at a comfortable rate.
Dante Dudley on the Nate Brown Show. He's the head coach, Rapid City Marshals, back for his second season. So I got to ask you, last year I went to some games, and I was looking around the Summit Arena. I'm like, man, this thing is rocking. I mean, I think you guys had the best crowds in the league. What do you say about this market for football?
Rebecca and Wes have put a lot of time into it. Antoine Smith also. I just hope that everybody comes out and supports it like they did last year. I understand that people got burned in the situation at no fault to them. They've tried to turn some people back into being fans, but they put a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I just want them to come out and support the team, the organization, in the best way possible.
I'm with you on that because I said when you have the right ownership group invested, they're making the connections, the players are making the connections in the community, it all goes really well. This market last year supported the team big time. I mean, I thought the crowds were great. The product you guys, man, there were some fun games. Now, I'll ask you about the football side. What did you learn? Okay, you know indoor football, but what did you learn about, okay, we need to be better here and here. What do you want to change for this season?
Well, I think people forget it's extremely hard to win games when you have 5 different quarterbacks start in 10 games. That's me teaching a new offense to a new quarterback that's only been around for a week or two. So, the first 3 games, the preseason game, the first regular season game, and the second regular season game, all those were legit. That was a decent performance from us. Once Bobby got injured, the wheels just kind of spiraled out of control at that quarterback position. If you can't get that right, it's very hard to win in the league.
Okay, how hard is that? Meaning, if you lose a quarterback or, quarterbacks essentially in this league, how hard was that for you to fill the gap?
It was hard, trying to get guys to come in, and then you have the off-the-field issues that transpired, and that makes it very difficult for guys that want to trust the situation to come here. So this year, we have 3 quarterbacks that are already in camp. I feel comfortable with all 3 of them. And if someone does get injured, the other 2 are more than capable of holding it down until the starter gets back in.
Dante Dudley on tonight. He's the head coach of the Rapid City Marshals. I'm ready for the second season. It starts Sunday with the preseason matchup at Summit Arena, 6:05 kickoff on Sunday night at the Monument. So I'll ask you about your roster. What do you see from these guys? You brought some new guys in. What's going to be the culture of this team here?
Right now, it seems like we're bonding a lot faster than last year's team, so there won't be any selfish play. There's been a ton of talent that we have coming in. Defense should be pretty good. I'm predicting that the defense will be top 3 defense in the league this year. Offense will go as our quarterback goes, and I feel confident that we'll get better as we're getting ready for the playoffs.
Dante Dudley back for a second season. I'm glad you did it, Coach. Look forward to the season. Starts Sunday, preseason matchup. Tickets available. Rapid City Marshals preseason matchup Sunday night at the Summit Arena. Rapid City Marshals indoor football back. Coach Dante Dudley on tonight. Coach, good luck to you. We'll stay in touch. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nate.
I appreciate it. Yep. Dante Dudley on tonight, Fox Sports Rapid City. Second season now as head coach for the Rapid City Marshals. I wanted to get a feel for what's different about this year. I think a lot of things are. Ownership's number one, okay? That's where it all starts. You got to have investment. You got to have not only financially, emotionally, in the community, working hard, okay? And then he's bringing in some new players, building a different culture. It looks like you got a fresher start here of Rapid City Marshals football in its second season. Preseason matchup Sunday night, 6:05 kickoff. Tickets available. And I said last year, man, that place was rocking. I went to some games. I'm like, man, people, they're loving this. I've always said indoor football can work here. You have the right pieces in place. Back with Rapid City Marshals indoor football Sunday night. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, we are getting into who's hot and who's not. I've got something for you. Which college football teams wrapped up this recruiting cycle with the most blue chip stars? That's 4-star and 5-star. Which college football programs got, 84% of them, 92%? Which ones? Who's hot and who's not on the way?
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Today on Hey Culligan, buy to save. Here's a text from Devin in Denver. Hey Culligan, I'd love a water softener, but I don't want to pay for it. Devin, I can't help you there, but a Culligan high-efficiency softener can help you save oodles on energy and detergent, so the savings can be even greater than the cost. And I'm getting a mind-blown emoji followed by, yes please. Devin, the savings are already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Clear skies tonight with a low of 21. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Bright sunshine tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 54. Lows around 24. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times Saturday with daytime highs approaching 49. 42 Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 31.
Great news! I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Used cars, used trucks, used sport utilities. Find them all at Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 300 used cars, trucks, and SUVs. GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Many late model local trades. Plus, used and certified pre-owned Chevys. With qualified credit, buy with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. Shop the Black Hills best selection in person at Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMenholtRapidChevrolet.com.
Live from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Details Studio. Sales, service, and recreation. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, welcome back on a Thursday. We've made it. I've come back from the ashes of pink eye. We're okay. We're fine. We're here. We're ready. Good Thursday show in the books with Who's Hot and Who's Not on the Nate Brown Show, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. PizzaRanch.com. Specials right now online for 2 locations in Rapid City, carryout or delivery. PizzaRanch.com. Who's hot and who's not? Let's start with who's hot. I'm going to run this one at you. Sports betting revenue around the country hit an all-time high in 2022. It just keeps going up and up and up. More states are saying, hey, we'll do it. We see the tax revenue from it. This is a winner. All the states are doing it. South Dakota just implemented it here in the past year with Deadwood. Here's the new number. All-time high of sports betting in the U.S., $7.5 billion in 2022 was bet on sports. That's a 72% increase from last year. A 72% increase in 1 year. Sports betting nationally just absolutely taking off big time. Okay, in my Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, I know these teams are hot, but I just hate it because it's the same teams, and I don't know how you break through. The recruiting numbers are out. And out of the 4-star and 5-star players, these are the 4-star and 5-stars, the blue chippers for college football. 3 teams got these percentages. 84% of the 4-star, 5-star, Georgia. Georgia got 84% 4-star, 5-star. Alabama got 92% of the 4-star, 5-star. Ohio State got 95% of their signees 4-star, 5-star. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, 84 to 95% of their signees 4-star, 5-star, top tier. And I don't know how that's ever going to change. All right, good stuff tonight. Thanks for listening. We are getting set for high school hoops. Hey, this is it. Rapid City Rivalry, round 2. It's the girls tonight. Central Stevens girls basketball coming up with Jerome Wickersham, Dean Girl on the call. Matt Kearney in tonight running the show. And then tomorrow we'll do the boys side. So this will be interesting. Central Stevens tonight, girls. Boys basketball tomorrow. You're home for high school sports. Fox Sports Rapid City. We'll send it out there in about 45 minutes. The Odd Couple's on the way. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up. We'll be back here tomorrow at 4.
Fox Sports Radio.